tell you what happened. Let me tell you something that y'all need to do some research and find out what shame will do to you. Shame do to you.
Yes.
Out of that trial, because it's the first trial pertaining to a black person that white folks and black folks looked at every day of the week and saw it. Even with the O.J. trial, they didn't get to see it every day because we didn't have cable like we got it now. So even white folks that wouldn't give us the time of the day, they're ashamed of this trial. They're ashamed of their America. Black folks is not ashamed. We expected that. We hurt. We in pain. Now, watch me, black folks. I'm here, black. White dude here is white. I'm in pain. He's in shame. I can go down to CVS or Walgreens and get me a pill and wipe out my pain. There is no pill to wipe out shame. That's why we black folks are so messed up. Start being ashamed of slavery, ashamed of something that he's doing. You raped me and I'm a slave. They do that in Arab countries. Man's daughter get raped and he make her commit suicide or kill himself or he commit suicide. What kind of fool is you? Punishment. When you slap a child or yell at a child, it's punishment. Leads to shame, black woman. Punishment leads to shame. And then it gets down into that part where the real God roam around. The real universal God roams in that spot there in your chest, not in the Vatican, not in the cathedral. There, it gets there, and when it gets there, the universal God it moves over. And then when it gets there, it turns you into anger. And then shame. Let me tell you something. This is scientific data. When shame gets so overwhelming, the mind numbs itself. And the individual cannot feel anything. Many times leaving a sociopath or a psychopath. A living machine that can kill or maim without feeling, without any feelings or any remorse. You better pray that them white folks don't say shameful long. Because, see, they ain't got your mentality. Every white I hire said, you can't think for me because you born with 300 years of white privilege. And Steve Jaffe said, not me. Light-complected Negroes is born with a privilege, boy. You better hope and pray that them white folks get over their shame. And those of you, go and check what happens to the brain. How numb it gets. White folks is ashamed. Black folks is in pain. Somewhere. And when you look at that trial, say, wait a minute, y'all. Nobody got cameras of him being killed. He died 100 feet from where his father stayed, where he was staying. And nobody in that complex knew he was dead. For 4 days he laid in the morgue, listed as a John Doe. Mom and Dad is calling the police station, and they said, we're looking for him. We got him listed as a missing person. You mean that little town that's 80% Negro, the county, and they didn't know there's a 17-year-old black boy laying there that couldn't get there without the police writing up and sending him there, huh?
Right.
Huh? And telling his mom? And none of that came up in the trial? Are you all out of your mind? Huh? Laid there in the morgue, and every cop knew knew he was there and told Mom and Dad. Whew. We looking for him. And then something strange happened that needed to come up in the trial. And those of you all need to Google April the 5th, 2013, the Orlando Sentinel. Now, y'all, this is too important to take somebody's word for it. Trayvon Martin's parents settled a wrongful death claim from the Homeowners Association. Is thought to have paid more than $1 million. How come nobody knew about that? Or is this a lie? How come nobody know about this? And when you read it, you find out that they didn't have no insurance, homeowners. When you read the story, Trayvon was shot to death by a neighborhood watch volunteer, George Zimmerman, at the retreat at the Twin Lakes townhouses in Sanford on February, hear me, 26, 2012. February 26, 2012. There was no homeowners insurance. And when you read the article, the association bought the homeowners insurance. The policy had a $1 million limit according to a federal court record that went into effect March the 30th. I'm killed on February the 26th, and the policy is not bought until March the 30th. I have a car accident tonight, and the policy is not bought till next month, and the insurance company is going to pay me off. That's what the president needs to be looking into. How you going to pay me before the trial? If he's not found guilty, you don't have to pay. Or did you say this neighborhood watch? The reason this should have came up in court, if they paid off Martin's family because Zimmerman killed him, the jury would have had altogether a new take on that, Give me your somewhere. And I say this again and again. If he went to the store and bought a loaf of bread and a chicken, and on his way home and he's killed, the loaf of bread and the chicken should be there. Who ate it? Where'd it go? That's part of the evidence. That can of juice. Was it blood on that can? That candy, Was it gunpowder on it? We can look at that and tell where the projections came from, Or did he ever go to the store? Is that why they couldn't show no pictures except them trick pictures from his back in the 7-Eleven? Hollywood can build a 7-Eleven screen in 5 minutes. When y'all go for the okie doke, you're so busy looking at the play. You numb your God consciousness, your universal consciousness. Let me tell y'all something, y'all. I find scientific community around the world is so outrageous. I looked at research. I have the #1 research team in the world, okay? I looked at some research 6 years ago. These scientists have found a way to genetically engineer we used to call them lightning bugs, but in the scientific document they call them, what they call them? We call them lightning bugs. No, we call them June bugs. Lightning bugs.
June bugs, right.
Okay. They crossbreeded a carrot with a lightning bug, and at nighttime the carrot lights up, okay? If my poor mama was alive and the boys said when they do it to a human being, they already did it to a cat. When they do it to a human being, they could trick my mother and tell her this is the second coming of Christ, huh? And then had this little thing they created that lights up at night. Mama believe it is Christ. Tell her what to do. Take all your money, take it out first, now back and give it to her. Find you a white person to work for for free. Now, they got that scientific data. They got scientific data on Mars, on the moon, Pluto. Been there 30 years, and they have 24 hours surveillance. These scientific gatherings where if something falls and hit the moon, they can listen to that sound and know if it was a rock or some type of animal. Your vocal cords, there's no two vocal cords alike. They can test that. There's no two fingerprints alike. And you mean to tell me in this day of technology they're going to ask Zimmerman's mama and Trayvon's mother to listen to this tape and tell me that's your son? If I threw a brick and hit a white woman in the head and called her a bitch, they could trace that back to my voice. And know where the brick came from. Come on, y'all. Come on. So all at once now, they don't have that scientific to check them filthy tapes, and find out who that is. It might not have been none of it. It might have been the engineer that's making up stuff, okay? Well, they got y'all in a trick. They got y'all, oh, wow. And so somewhere, and it's important for you to, maybe those of you on the show, or call Lil and tell her I told you to call and tell her to leave you, give her an address, because I don't do all that little fax and stuff. Oh, she got a fax there. And she will fax you this letter, and you can read it on your show, huh?
Right.
Trayvon was shot by a neighborhood watch on February the 26th. Policy was bought March 30th. Whew. Come on, y'all. And so somewhere, when you understand, one thing is I'll get ready to leave y'all. Anytime you need me, just call my wife. I know who the black woman is. I mean, millions of dollars and never wrote a check in my life. Go ahead, girlfriend, you right. Yes.
Before you leave, because we named this show Facts Only, based on a conversation that me and you had at in Los Angeles at the hotel, when you pulled out the amazing fact sheet, brother, and you compelled us to look at us in a universal sense, to a universal eye, you know what I'm saying, the amazing thing that the body does. I want to really, that's what I really wanted to share with the world, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. You mean what, the body, the human body? I wouldn't have done that direction. The world now is all tied up with Zimmerman. Huh? And nobody's giving them the truth because most folks don't know it. This human body been here trillions of years. We can always talk about that. Always talk about that. You think Harvard and Yale actually know about the human body? Let me tell you what we did, and I'll get right back to you because the time is long. Check the facts of a dinosaur. Dinosaurs have been gone billions of years.